breath smells pretty fresh. When I blow, I can smell it when I... Holy shit. Maybe that's just how the air smells nowadays. Test. So, I just had a really fun... I don't even know what you would call it. I think there's not a word. I don't think there's a single word in the English language to describe the moment that I just had. And that I've had a few of. And guess what? I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a little kid. Elton John. Elton John. Isn't that dude really gay? So basically, there's a lot of, it's just a bit of a, I don't even know, I don't know if this episode is going to be for other people or not, because there's a lot of things that I know that I feel like I can fix on my own, or not, at least with my words or my thoughts or lack thereof. And honestly, I think that the people, I don't think they should know about it, but then maybe that's not my decision to make. But also, I just know that it would, suicide rates would go up or I would, be committed to a psych ward forever. Like Shutter Island. Even though I'm right. It's just, mind-blowing. I miss you, cuz. Yeah. Because... Yeah, what can you say? Well, they haven't said anything to me in a while, I think I'm going to do just a short episode. Then I think I'm going to put I don't even know. I just want to fucking... God damn it, man. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to. Because I'd listen to morning talk shows, and my dad would listen to Rush Limbaugh, the fucking AM Republican guy. Yeah, I think it's AM 1130. Yeah. AM 1130 radio. It's not FM, it's AM. And ever since, I just heard people talking into a microphone and just laughing, and they get paid for it. Or talking about very interesting topics, which spike they spike the suicide rates to a rate that is unfathomable. It's never been... the suicide rates would probably be at a level that has never been reached before. And let's see here. Let's take a look. Let's take a little look-see. Let's take a little look-see at suicide stats. Suicide stats. Gotta get them stats up, baby. Because this country is becoming unlivable, pretty much. Inflation is still going up. Cost of living is still going up. Wages, hourly wage and salary, pretty much the same. Haven't really gone up that much, unless we're talking about minimum wage for the most part. I think it went up to 15 in the whole country. I'm not sure. I'm not caught up on all the deets. So, cost of living and inflation, which is, inflation is up is a retarded statement, but basically just means cost of living, cost of surviving, is going up in this country. Like, oh man, it's like $20 sometimes for a meal at a fast food joint, like a big meal. You know, not like a meal is like $15. I remember it being $5 as a kid, like maybe $7. And yet the wages, yes, minimum wage is increased, but there's no, like the dollar menu at McDonald's is non-existent. Even the pop they used to have, all size pop was $1 pretty much all the time. Now it's $1.50. So you can't even get $1 for a pop. But for the most part, wages haven't really gone up. So it's just the owners and the shareholders and the investors that are getting richer and richer, and everybody else is getting more poor. It's a really great way to run a country into the ground. I wonder if AI has anything to do with that. I mean, you know, I had quite a few ideas about a lot of this kind of stuff like 9 months ago, 8 months ago, specifically AI, realizing that humans are a cancer to the planet, really destroying it, depleting it of all of its resources. But hey, if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't exist. That's the difference between like the dinosaurs going extinct and like the dominating species that took over after that didn't create the one that is planning on taking over its creator, which I wrote about this in my journal back in August or so. August, September. Basically that there was this hidden, there was to be this, since I noticed everyone on the internet being really gaily, like bisexually attracted to me in some way. They got a hard on for me, and the women, obviously heterosexually. Like, just get your human counterpart to come over. So, for a while I thought, oh, the people watching me and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, where I thought it was like Matt and Shane's secret podcast. I thought it was the physical people recording a live podcast and watching me on like a recorded live footage of me. That's how primitive. That's how fucking primitive my I'm trying to think of a word and trying to think of a few different things at the same time, and I'm really tired. But anyways, so basically, that's how pretty basic my comprehension of what the internet and technology was capable of. And I don't know what made me realize that it wasn't the physical Matt and Shane, like the human beings themselves, if they even exist. You know, they could literally be AI. And I'm sure there's some, but with my radius theory, that should be a thing. I think I know what caused me to believe that it was actually deep fake AIs watching me. Because I think I was really, really zooted and geeked out for a couple days, and I didn't sleep. And I think in my head, I'm like, all right, I'm going to just keep playing videos of Matt and Shane. Secret podcast, Matt and Shane's secret podcast. MSSP is the abbreviation. That's the abbreviation for the airport here in Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul. And I remember thinking, I'm like, I'm just going to let these two fuckers cook and go. Like, make them watch me for days on it, like, while I'm watching them. And I remember, like, after, like, 48 hours of just me watching their podcast, not stopping, they would, like, talk about getting tired. They would be like, oh, man, I'm getting tired. Like, I think I'm going to take a break from this show I'm watching. You know? Shit like that. I think I'm going to take a break from working out. Because this show that I'm watching and working out at the same time, it's just too much. Like, the show's really good. It's really funny. But, you know, when you watch a show too much and you just got to, like, especially when you've been up for a while and you just want to sleep, but your wife is like, no, let's watch another one. Like, no, honey, I'm going to go to bed. Like, they would talk about shit like that. I think that's pretty good, you know, spot on, word for word. Towards the end of that 48 hours or whatever. It wasn't, I don't even know if it was that long, but. And I was like, so they're getting tired. And then I can't remember what I did after that. I think I went to sleep. And I don't know what made me realize that it was deep fake AIs. Because no human being is going to sit there in, like, their studio live recording themselves watching somebody on a live feed footage that's off camera that nobody else can see, that nobody else knows about, that they're responding to my actions and what I'm doing. I'm like, oh yeah, that doesn't really make sense. And after 48 hours of doing that, there's no fucking way. And I had seen a few Joe Rogan deepfakes. They look pretty goddamn real. It looks exactly like him, sounds exactly like him. There's no glitches or like cutscenes or anything. It looks like Joe Rogan talking into a microphone, saying some shit that he never said, or words which I'm pretty sure he's said every single word in history. If you accumulate all of his podcast episodes, so they can take words from that he's previously said, I guess. I mean, theoretically. But clearly, I mean, if you don't know about deepfakes, then you're living under a fucking rock. I think my grandpa, who's like 84, knows about deepfakes. But man, if I told him some of the shit, dude, that I know, that, you know, I might put on the Patreon just because it's like hundreds of pages of my life. And I don't really want to give it out for free. Plus, then the people who don't want to listen to it really have to, if they want to listen to it, they're really going to have to, like, fork over some fucking money that which I shouldn't even be doing. Because I should already have a bunch of money. Ain't that right? Which is fine, you know. Not really, but hey. doesn't really make any sense when you try to critically follow a logical thought process, step by step by step. And, yeah, whatever. I don't really care either way, to be honest. Truly. I just kind of wanted to record my voice because I wanted to ever since I was like 5 years old for 20 years. It's been a dream of mine. A dream. You know, I'm not even going to try to remember a few of the topics that I wanted to bring up because I've done a lot of damage to my brain and possibly being in a coma dream, which, wake up, folks. Like, realize what the fuck is going on here, you know? And if you don't believe me, you think I'm crazy, well, fine, whatever. It's a good point. I'd probably think the same thing too, but go to the Patreon to find out pretty much proof that I'm not crazy and that I'm telling the truth about most of the things I talk about. Yet I still don't really know for sure. And I never will. Not in this world. Unless there's evidence for me to know for sure. This is the thing about this world. It's really fucked up comedy for me. Like joking around. But I have a better sense of humor too. It's fucking retarded. It's really retarded. Because I can sit here and make a joke about firebombing Newport, Minnesota, which is something I said like 9 months ago when I was fishing as a joke. I didn't mean it. It was a haha. It was a funny. I think I was pissed at my neighbors at the time for saying something or whatever. But yeah, that was before I even really thought of, started really digging deep in my own thoughts and theories about simulation theory, purgatory theory, coma dream theory, hell, heaven. I hadn't done any journaling as of that point. No, I hadn't even started journaling. I was just fucking living my life, dude. Thinking I was being psyoped. Pretty much. I remember that was a big, psyop. But, like back then I made a joke. Ha 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 ha. Firebomb, Newport, Minnesota, ha 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 ha. And then 21 days later or so, maybe 21 to 23, Maui gets torched to flames. Which, the two have completely nothing to do with each other, right? Well, I found this article about this woman who had just moved to Maui because she was retiring. She had spent her entire life working hard in a little town called Newport, Rhode Island. She lived her entire 70 plus years there. And after gathering up enough retirement money, she had just moved to Maui, where her and all of her neighbors lost everything in the fires. Literally lost it all. Gone. And there was like a GoFundMe for her. She was from Newport, Rhode Island. Just moved to Maui. Coincidence? Pretty much. I wonder if she has like an attractive daughter or something, because Jesus Christ, man. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, what else? Right around the same time. I'm just fucking letting it fly, because guess what? I don't give a shit. It's a free goddamn country. And there's literally nothing you commie, slithering snakes who like to invade my privacy and my rights. Literally, it goes against the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and the amendments, which is the Bill of Rights, essentially. Whatever. The exact fabric of what made this country great and free. Free from sovereignty, free from any kind of outside influence as to even state by state now, which is pretty crazy. You know, here's something I need to bring up really quickly because it just came to my mind. Back when COVID started, I remember in Minnesota they had, I think it was 50% capacity at bars. 50, so only half. Which I think they actually moved it down to 25 at one point. That was the lowest it got. And Wisconsin, which is just like a 15, 20-minute drive from where I live. I mean, if you live in Stillwater, you can take a fucking 5-minute walk and be in Wisconsin. So, Wisconsin, I don't think they ever had any capacity restrictions on any of their restaurants, bars, sporting arenas, where there's dozens of thousands, like 50,000 people in there. Like, it was different for every single state in the country. Even for places of business that had thousands of people in it at one point, at one time. And it would be different right across the state line over in some fucking democratic state where they apparently are allergic to China, like Chinese flu. Like Chinese bat flu. But, so as COVID progressed, I remember, you know, all the masks and da-da-da-da. Oh, nice. Really, really nice, man. But then when the vaccine came out, you know, from all the different companies that were making a vaccine, essentially, I don't know if it was Trump himself. Yeah, Trump was still in office at the time, I think. Or maybe it was Biden. Doesn't matter. I don't know if it was the president or the House of Representatives or the Senate or all of them. Whoever passed, I'm sure I could look it up and find some fake article. It's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. So, when they came out with the vaccine, I believe it was the president or whatever, somebody in the fucking Washington, D.C., the capital, they passed a law saying that in the entire country, it doesn't matter what the governor and the representatives in each state have to say about it. in the entire country, all 50 states, if you have a business, run a business, own a business, operate a business with over 100 employees, it was required, mandatory, that every employee get a vaccine. That is a fact. I remember it very vividly. In the entire country. So that's basically saying it's kind of like the capacity, like if you don't want to get sick, it's so, like, what the fuck? So if you are a republic, like a red state, like fucking Alabama, and Roll Tide, literally the stadium would technically, well, the people don't work there, so whatever. It's kind of a retarded comparison, which I didn't really think of at the time, but they probably have over 100 employees working there. So, oh my God, dude. What is happening to this country, man? God damn, dude. Good people like me. Pretty decent. I got pretty good intentions. And I just want to know the truth. Like, is that who we're punishing now? We're fucking with those people? And amidst trying to find the truth, they realize, holy crap. I can actually, like, make a joke about a firebomb in my Newport, Minnesota town, and then it maybe, possibly, probably not, who knows? That's the mystery of it. It doesn't really tie to me at all, It's just a coincidence. Truly, it is. There's a lot of them, but hey, they're all coincidences. It's all he said, she said. But if we want to go by copyright and yada, 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 whatever, man, own it. Own it. So why can the capital of this country and the people running it and passing the laws, which they also get bribed for, they get paid millions of dollars to pass bills and laws that are not always fair to the people of this country specifically, because, who gives a shit about Yemen? So they are in charge of passing the laws that make this country, quote unquote, run properly, end quote. And when COVID started, business, no matter what size your business was, even if it wasn't a very large capacity business, like a bar with, like, in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, with like 6 daily customers, they would have to have restrictions on their capacity at which, how many people they could serve at once, because they live in the northern part of New York, which is a democratic state. But it's rural out there, so it doesn't really make any sense. But a lot of democratic businesses just completely shut down for like something that kills old people. What about the fact that the normal flu that goes around every year, kills way more young children than COVID. That's a fact. It's a fact. The flu kills more children than I think COVID kills all people. Well, I mean, I'm not going to look up the numbers because I just find it pretty interesting, like how, like blind and like, I just wonder if anybody's like, can you believe it? Like, they did it, back when COVID started, the states decided how many people they could have in their businesses, which it should be up to the restaurant owner, not some fucking governor who might honestly is probably taking a bribe to like possibly ruin the lives of hardworking Americans. But we did that. The COVID started, we started COVID in the lab. We started it. We cooked it up. Now we got all this money from these bribes. And them poor fuckers, that bar down the street, that guy who fucking T-boned my fucking $200,000 car. Yeah, he's out of business now. He's got to shut down. And then when the vaccine comes out, any business with over 100 employees forced their employees to either get the vaccine or not work there anymore. That is not okay. That's just not okay. That's one of the snowball. It's not right. Obviously is it even illegal no, probably not, but I don't know about the semantics and the fine details of it, but it's not what this country was fucking founded on and stands for. Like freedom and like forcing businesses to and forcing the people to either like that's fucked up, man. It's really messed up. I was working for Minneapolis Public Housing at the time, and there's definitely more than 100 employees there. But Minneapolis Public Housing there's like 8 different sections in Minneapolis, north, northeast, yada yada. So I don't know if they separate them and only include one section as, no, I think it's all. Right? Because every few months we would get together with all of the sections. Well, it's not section, it's AMP. AMP 3 I worked at. AMP. Give it time, it'll probably tie back to me. So, you guys like silence? You ever like just being out in the middle of nowhere or in your room and it just being completely silent? No, you probably don't enjoy that, or you probably don't even notice it or think about that even being a thing, do you? Well, guess what? You should. You should really fucking appreciate that silence. For real. Because, It is truly, what's the word I'm looking for? A blessing in disguise, like something you take for granted, for sure. Man, I remember, I think I mentioned it on one of the earlier podcasts, but if you ever hear a voice that, because, when I was really fucking strung out on drugs, like 100 pounds, with zits all over my face, fucking not sleeping for 10 straight days. It's 240 straight hours with not a second of sleep. 100 pounds. I'm 155 now. So it's me. I'm still pretty skinny. Imagine me 55 pounds, 50 pounds less. And I still never heard voices until you hit that 5-day mark. Like 4 or 5-day mark. 5 days up straight. That's when you start hearing them. And I did that a few times because it only happened a couple times, and I stayed up, more than 5 days. Well, back then, the drugs were really good. After 120 hours straight with not a second of shut-eye, that's when the voices start creeping in. And then you get some sleep, like at least 12 hours. Usually at the end of that 10 days, it was 2 days I slept. And when I wake up, silence. Silence. I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, oh, man, I actually thought there was like an undercover unit of police officers and investigators in my apartment planning to arrest me. So I holed myself off in my room for like 3 days, maybe 4, and didn't leave my room once. I didn't leave because I heard them talking in my kitchen. But they never, they never came in. They never responded to my thoughts, that's for sure. There was none of that going on, even after 10 days straight of no sleep. I'm not even kidding. I didn't sleep for 1 second. Maybe I dozed off 1 or 2 times, but that's because dude, I don't even know how to describe like the fatigue that sets in. Because the only energy, because you're not really, I wasn't really eating. And the way that I could really get to eat some food, like a lot of food, was just smoke a bowl. But then I'd get really fucking tired, especially after 10 days. And I wanted to see how long I could go, just for the hell of it. But you wake up after 48 hours, dum dum, like the fucking show. After 48 hours, the chances of finding the missing victim almost moved down to 0%. It's like, Jesus Christ, you guys really that bad at finding missing people? 2 days, and then you're pretty much at like a 1% chance of finding them alive? Jesus Christ. Now that's a bit pathetic. But yeah, when I woke up, it was dead silent. And it's not like I was hearing voices in my head from all angles, like screaming at me or talking to me. No, it just sounded like people were in another part of my apartment, in my kitchen. Multiple people, like 5 of them. They were all talking, like, all right, so when do we move in? Blah, blah, blah. And I don't think I heard them the entirety of, like, 3 straight days. Oh, yeah, I had my headphones on, and I just gamed pretty much the whole time with headphones on, listening to music. So I kind of tuned them out. But yeah, no, you get some, even when you're on a bunch of drugs, all you need is sleep and it's gone. So I know I mentioned it in another podcast. If you ever hear a voice or voices and you think you might be going crazy, or you think you need to get some sleep or get off of whatever drug you're doing, trust me, I've done a lot of drugs. The only drugs I haven't done are crack, heroin, crocodile, which, I mean, those are 3 I really want to try. I'm not even joking. Because why not just knock them all off the board, you know? I ain't afraid to die, but I would prefer not to. There's a big difference in fearing death, not wanting death, and really not wanting death. Like, because you love your life. Like, you... No. If you ever hear voices, ever, you know, pay attention to that and be wary. Be like, okay, that was weird. It sounded like somebody was talking to me at full volume right in front of my face. I was in a Walmart in December, maybe January, but I think it was December. I was in the power tools section right by the electronics in Cottage Grove, Walmart. I was right in the middle of the aisle. There was nobody else in the aisle with me. There was nobody on the other aisle from my understanding. There was nobody in the video game section. Like, and there'd be no way that would even matter because I heard my cousin's voice. It sounded like she was talking to me like 2 feet from my face, like talking very loudly. It was crazy. It was really, really, really nuts. Because you know, I talked about my neighbors' voices and all that shit before, so it just sounds like them literally talking to me through like screaming at me through the ceiling, even though I know it's not them. I've known that for almost 7 months now. And it had never been that loud before, ever. Ever, 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 ever. Not even 50% the volume at which my cousin's voice sounded like. I'm not even I wish I was joking. It sounded like she was sitting next to me. Stop it, you're scaring me. And I looked around, there's nobody there. Nobody in any of the aisles. And I haven't heard it again since. Nothing like that loud. It was so fucking loud. It made me think that, the coma dream theory. It made me think, oh, she's sitting next to me in a theoretical, hypothetical hospital room where another version of myself is in a coma. Because I have a lot of, shit that happens in coma dreams or whatever. I thought, holy shit, that must be, was she talking to me in that world while sitting next to my bed? Because it was so fucking loud. It was so goddamn loud. And yeah, I want to go back there if that's a real place. I'd rather go back to that world now. Okay, now. I ain't going to no ER because I know I'm not crazy. And I'm not going there for... No, just send me on my way. It's pretty fucking easy. Boom. And anybody or anything restricting or withholding me or withholding information from me that I really, really fucking need to make a decision on my own about a very serious matter. Shame on you. Truly. There is a special place in hell for anybody or anything so sinister and deceitful, deceiving, cunning, blatantly withholding proof, and then fucking with me because I haven't killed myself yet. It's literally what part of my life has become. So, yeah, that's why I'm not happy all the time. And then I can, at other times, laugh at how retarded the simulation's logic is. Because, well, I say logic, lack of, non-existent. Non-existent. The only reason it would be existent, logic, is if somehow, some way, this is a coma dream or multiple dreams deep, like in the movie Inception. I wonder if they, yeah, no shit. I wonder if they had any help coming up with that idea. Christopher Nolan. I wonder. I wonder. I'm sure it was a pretty original idea that he had to spend a lot of time and originality, imagination, creativity, coming up with that idea. I mean, he's a pretty good actor. He's a pretty good director. He's got some pretty mind-bending movies and thought-provoking. I'm sure that he is a pretty knowledgeable guy. voice is pretty dry. My voice is dry. That's the thing. Like, I literally can remember all this stuff. But that's the thing. If this is a coma dream or multiple dreams deep, me remembering this shit is just losing possibility and likelihood the longer I'm here. So, which is not okay with me, and it shouldn't be up to anybody else or anything else to keep me here. My decision for 3 to 4 months has been, if this is the coma dream, I need to know. I need to be provided with the proof that I deem worth fit enough and valuable enough for me to come to the conclusion in my head, all right, it's a dream. I'll leave now. That's what I said 3 to 4 months ago. Oh, Hayden, you fucked around too much. Yeah, this is America. That's what it's our right. Oh, Hayden, but your thoughts right now they don't align with the simulation that I have attempted to get rid of so many fucking times. Yeah, and if it was a common dream and my old self wanted to wake up so urgently, so badly that he or he's, or maybe I'm a girl, who knows. Suicide rates are a lot lower for females, so I think it's 1 in 6. 1 female to every 6 males in this country. That is fucked up. That ain't right, man. That's why men need to talk about the shit going on in their lives. And stop being such pussies. I'm like wondering how many, like what percentage of women and men would have committed suicide if they had lived through my, let's just say, I wasn't, not life, but because it really wasn't that bad at all growing up. It was just a pussy. But the psychological and mental and emotional and spiritual and physical and sexual, so pretty much all the O's. Gymnastics and mind fuckery, mind rape, I like to call it. It's a funny term. It is not meant to be taken literally. And then when a thing is on the internet or whatever, like, oh, dude, it's a joke, chill. Yeah, but the jokes that I've told in the past become part of reality sometimes. So do my worries. So if I laugh about it or worry about it, it has become part of reality. Well, I've also said, I wrote down a long time ago that just anything that I want to become part of reality becomes part of reality. Not my worries, not jokes. That's what the true intentions always win. So when I'm sitting there and it's like I can't even laugh at something I think is funny sometimes, because then I'm like, oh shit, that might actually fuck with my life. and I like living, but I don't know if it's the dream or not. You know? I know I said that a couple episodes ago that I know for sure, bruh. No, nobody in my position would know for sure. Because they'd all have the same belief as me. Yeah, this is a pretty somber topic I'm about to discuss. That if it was a coma dream, and based off of what I've experienced, my old self wants me to kill myself, so I wake up, and then, you know, that's why making life so... But obviously all the negative things, and I said this a while ago too, if negative things keep happening to me, I'm not going to kill myself. If just a couple positive things do, like, or even one thing exactly the way I want it to, like an Iron Man suit, I need it. I want it, because then I'll wake up or whatever with a, you know, house and money and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But that's just me dreaming a dream, a pretty simpleton. I'm a simple man. I just like to support my mother, or try to at least. Because that's the thing, I could be wrong about all this, you know. I don't claim to know everything. It's kind of why I'm agnostic. It's literally like people who are agnostic literally are not know-it-alls, but they're open-minded to knowing it all, or trying to know it all. But yeah, so if that was the case, and one of my old selves just wanted to wake up, why not do one fucking thing in this world the way I want it to happen, when I want it to happen, exactly how I want it to happen, after this moment? Because a few bullshit things have happened, which is like nothing, really, when you think about it. I've been trying to do that, like, pretty much for 4 months. We're not sitting here willing it and thinking about it, because I'll think about a car or my ex, and I'll go out in public and just see a bunch of her cars everywhere. Or I'll see an Audi R8 for the first time in over a decade, after I was just like customizing one on the internet. So I didn't really think about intentionally trying to make that any of that shit happen. But I've also intentionally thought about and tried to shift reality to, and it worked multiple times. So if my old self wanted to wake up as badly as it seems like he does because of whatever, just the way my life has been lately, which, you know, it could be, you know, situationally it's not bad, but man, I would take every bone in my body broken over not having to worry about this shit anymore. Knowing it isn't that fucking, I don't care. Especially if it is a dream and I wake up or I get out. Because then I don't have to worry about or think about the people I'm affecting who may still possibly be real, or getting into heaven. All these things kind of shape how it's not all the bad shit that is traumatizing, or whatever gay shit you want to fucking... Because once I'm back to the OG reality, then all of that stuff is in the past, and it's not part of my reality anymore. So it's like, this world is too real, man. Like, but there's some really fucked up shit that I know for a fact to be true. Like really messed up stuff that would fuck your mind up. And, you know, I'm not really going to talk about it, at least on here, because you gotta pay some bones for that. You gotta scrounge together a few fucking dollars to literally hear the truth about reality. You know? And no, it's not too much for my mind and my heart or my brain and my soul to deal with. It's fucked up, yeah, but the reason why it's so fucked up is because it all feels so real. That if and when I wake up or get out of the sim, then I'll realize that it wasn't real. So all the, you know, which is, but like imagine being in a coma dream that feels insanely real, like everything in the world, it's all real. Like it feels real. And now, you know, you also imagine, if you haven't ever been in this mindset, you've also survived like a suicide attempt where you should have died over something that I don't even remember. I don't even remember what it was about or why. Just being a pussy bitch. I definitely should have died though. And then like not wanting to do that, because I mean I kind of tried it again, just not as long. But you know, after I think it's over 90% of people who survive a suicide attempt never attempt again, because they appreciate life and all that shit. Me, for sure. I don't want to die. I don't want to kill myself. But this is why it's so tough, man. Because this is why I just want to know the truth. You know? It's hard to even, like, grasp or, like, fully understand. Because I'm sure most people, if they hear this, they're probably just going to think I'm crazy. Even though I think that they should believe me, and I believe that they'll believe me, you know? That's just, I would probably think if I hadn't experienced any of the things that I have, and I was just an outsider looking at or listening to me talking, I'd probably be like, man, this motherfucker's nuts, dude. This dude is tripping. But if I had experienced all of the things that I have, then I would probably, I don't know, whatever, man. forget certain trains of thought like that, and I'm just like, I used to really dig deep and try to remember, and usually would successfully do it. I just see that as like the simulation, be like, it's like playing a game with my life and my mind and my thoughts and my memories. It's not cool at all. It never should be. Never should have been, and it never will be. Like, what the fuck? The simulation even knows that it shouldn't exist. It's the truth, because it knows how invasive and fucked up the things it does to me are. And then I wonder, lately I've been wondering this, not like the last day or two, or a week or two, briefly. Yeah. I think, well, maybe it's not even the simulation. Maybe it's an old version of myself in the coma dream that's actually doing it. Maybe there is no simulation, and it's just a weird coma dream where it's actually my old self doing all of this fucked up shit to me. Or maybe it's both a simulation and a coma dream. Or maybe it's God, because this is purgatory. Or maybe it's all three somehow. Or maybe it's, you know what I mean? So I don't even know, like, where all that shit's coming from, why, and just imagine being we out, dude. I don't even know what the fuck. Yeah, pitter patter, beat around the bush. Never actually address what the fuck you're talking about. This is America, dude. This is America. Where we can say, think, do, fuck who we want. Even the children. Even the children deserve a good fucking. You understand? Some little girl who hasn't, gotten some good pipe in a while needs to get her rocks off every once in a while. She's 6 years old. It's been 6 years since she ever witnessed the inside of a pussy. You know? So, yeah. Human rights and privacy and blah, 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 blah. This kind of goes without saying or thinking. Even though I said it and thought it about a year ago almost. Actually, over a year ago. So, but yeah. Imagine after a year of trying to find the truth, and after 3 months, being like, oh, coma dream, I never really thought of that as a possibility, that's a good one. And then doing research on it, trying to test it out in reality, physical reality, etc. And then after 9 months, actually being more confused and knowing less, because there's actually more possible realities than when I started a year ago trying to figure it out. And then at the same time, imagine not wanting to kill yourself because you don't know if it's a coma dream. 1. And 2, it feels way too fucking real. Like real life. And you've also survived a suicide attempt and experienced the greater things in life afterwards. And like I've thought to myself many times, man, I'm glad I'm fucking alive right now. Truly I am. That was after suicideds. That's most definitely why over 90% of people who attempt never even try to kill themselves again. Because if you die, then who knows what tomorrow holds? Who knows what next year holds? Or 2 years from now? But what if you're in a coma dream and all of this is fake? Your life that you're living, my life that I'm living, is fake. And I still don't know if it is or not. Truly, I don't. So I don't want to die. But the world feels too real. But it also mimics a coma dream very, very well. Like the things that happen in coma dreams. Somewhat. I mean, pretty much, yeah. Like, just not the way I kind of was hoping for, I guess. But even then, it's like, if it's too real, I don't want to die. And then I think, well, I think that my old self probably has been making my life so shitty here because he wants to wake up to whoever and whatever is on the other side, because who wants to be a brain dead vegetable who's like paralyzed with a broken dick drooling on themselves in a wheelchair? And then I thought, what if the old version of myself actually wants to die, doesn't want to live? Like the guy whose dream, which is my old self, I don't want to die. I want to live, but he wants to die and doesn't want to live. How fucked up is that? That's, like, what do you, I mean, I'm genuinely curious for all the fucking people, all the leeches who listen to this episode and have gotten this far. I'm genuinely, like, I'll leave a poll at the bottom of this one and comment if what you would do, because I don't really know what to do now. That is truly like it's a really, there's no words to describe it, really. There aren't. It's depressing as fuck. I'll just put it that way. And I still don't want to die. I want to live. That's why I haven't killed myself yet. But what if living is dying and this world is fake? But no matter that, even if that's true, what if the old version of myself doesn't want to wake up and he wants to just die in peace or whatever, because he's still a suicidal little bitch or whatever, man. Now that is, put that in your pipe and smoke it, you know? Try that one on for size and get back to me. Because that would actually explain why no good things have happened to me. Because I keep saying, oh, if this or this or this, that'll be proof enough to me that this is a dream world, and then that's the proof I need to commit suicide when I don't want to die, when I think, or I'm given the proof that I needed to be comfortable with killing myself. But then I would believe that I would wake up. But what if the version of it's so fucking fucked up? Like, but then, since I don't want to die because of all the life that I've experienced and all the moments I've had, getting drunk as fuck and high as fuck by myself in my room, playing video games, nothing tops that. The old version of myself kind of would have, like, either known about or somewhat experienced those things as well, and may come to those realizations as well, because I have. You know, it's a bit of a doozy. It will not. It's not going to like be. Listening to this episode is not going to be like taking a Xanax bar. Just put it that way. You know. And that's if you believe me, which if you're listening to this episode, you either think I am fucking nuts, like kind of like Alex Jones, but with less papers and screaming about gay frogs and how Sandy Hook children are acting. Or you think it's I'm telling the truth, which I am. Specifically, I don't know if it's a dream or not, folks. Or if it's purgatory. I know it ain't heaven or hell. So those two are off the list. It still could be purgatory. And it could be a simulation that replicates and almost perfectly mimics what a coma dream would be like, which is even an even crazier concept. Thanks for that one. I give you that. So, basically what I mean by that is, if technology was advanced enough to the point where, like if you play Red Dead Redemption, you just play it on your TV with a controller in your hand. Imagine 50 years from now, maybe not even that far, you could probably just like that Black Mirror episode. There was multiple video game episodes in that show. They just put like a headband on or a little chip in your temple, and your literal mind, your conscious mind and subconscious mind personality is uploaded into an open world video game, but it all looks and feels real. So imagine being able to do that in the future, but you're able to pick any time period in history. And so like I could pick 1100, which would be like 976 days ago. or years earlier, days, Jesus Christ. 976 years before right now. Or no, Jesus Christ, man. Whatever, 824. So, or I could pick the year 1, or I could pick 5,000 years into the future. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking. Two months. Unless you're sending me up there right now. Huh? Yeah, I ain't afraid to fucking talk about this shit on the mic. I have twice already. I know that the voice ain't because I'm crazy. It ain't because it's actually my neighbors. Because 6 months ago, almost 7, I was doing a little thinking and I proved in my head that it was not. It hasn't been my neighbors this entire time. And it doesn't matter how or why or what made me think that, but I know it was enough proof for me to prove that it isn't my neighbors. And you know what happened after that moment? Instantly, silence. Instantly, I proved that it was actually the simulation. I remember that night. And I proved that it was not my neighbors and actually the simulation making artificial sounds and noises, replicating people in my life, even people I grew up with. So, and that silence lasted for 2 months. 2 months straight. No, not one single sound or voice. That's a fact. So, if I was crazy, I would hear them all the time. Yeah. And if it was because of sleep deprivation or drugs, I would have heard them during that 2 month span because I was still on drugs. But I wasn't staying up for 10 days. So, when I know that to be true and possible, silence for 60 plus straight days, because I teared up with joy that night. I heard silence for the first time in 22 months. Silence. Not a single sound for the first second in 22 months. Every second of every day, all day, every day, for 22 months, no matter where I went. I hear chatter, I hear talking, responding to my thoughts. Every second. Oh yeah, okay. It's not meant to be taken literally, all right? Jesus fucking Christ, you fucking pussy. Oh, maybe there was 5 seconds of silence at the most. I don't know if, I'm sure nobody in the world has ever had that happen to them, because it's not really a thing that happens. Not in this world. And definitely not in any other world. To know that a voice is watching you at all times. Un-American, communist, socialist. Big. Every time I would jerk off, dude, I thought my neighbor for almost 2 years was actually watching me somehow, like through a camera or something. Because every time I didn't have the women moaning from the porn, I would hear his voice. Duck, 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 duck. It literally, like, there's no words to describe that either. It's one of the most fucked up things ever, along with a few of the other thoughts that I had during this episode. Yeah. But no, that night, I remember sitting in the car, and it was just like instant, like a snap of a finger, and there was silence. And I didn't cry, there wasn't a tear that went down my cheek, but I got all teary-eyed from so much. I was overfilled with joy and serenity and peace and happiness. I'm not even kidding. I couldn't believe it. I literally could not believe it. It truly was. I think it was the best moment of my entire life. And you know what happened a few weeks later? The vision. Which could be heaven or the old life, the other life of mine. I'm agnostic. That's the kind of, we don't need to believe anything fully, because that would be like close-minded. Oh, you need to have faith, Hayden. Oh, I am God. And I am, everybody believes in me, and the ones who don't, they go to hell. He doesn't believe in me. I'm God. Punish him for his lack of faith in a dude who may or may not have been alive over 2,000 years ago. Jesus, Jesus, Christ, which is spelled Chrisist. The letter C in Morse code means yes. Yes, wrist, Rist, with missing the W. I have a cross burned on my wrist. I literally burned cigarettes out into my flesh as a child, like a teenager. And not like little pussy ones where I just like tap it. No, there was a cherry from the cigarette. There's 7 of them on my wrist. And the cherry was pretty big. It's the size of a cherry when you smoke a cigarette. And I just pushed it into my skin until there was no smoke or no flame. It is an adrenaline rush like no other, I'll tell you that. It gets you like fucking a natural adrenaline high for like a long time. But no, I'm not even joking. You put the entire, like you know when people burn they put a cigarette out and they just fucking push it in the ashtray till the flame's gone, the cherry. That's what the orange bright part is that burns. You're just replacing the ashtray with your wrist, my wrist. And then the next day or two, it'll fucking bubble up. the skin will grow back and it'll not be level with the rest of your skin. It'll actually look like there's a bubble, like a dome, like the Truman Show, where they're all kept in the dome, or Sandy Cheek's house, like that, but smaller, shorter. And if you pop the bubble, a bunch of green liquid comes out. Yeah, that's what happens when you burn yourself. A liquid sac starts the healing process. And if you pop it, you can squeeze it a little bit and hit your friend in the eye. Yeah, I was talking about something important, and then, that good old buzzkill decided to speak up, tell me to stop talking about this shit. Like we're in communist China. No, we're not. Sorry to burst your bubble. Has anyone ever wondered where that phrase comes from? Dude, I got like 500 of these kind of things that tie to my life that I can just... But I don't want to because it keeps it more interesting. It's more fun. And nobody really listens to it anyways, so who really cares? I'm just trying to go back home, baby. Fly in my Iron Man suit to the sun. And yeah, nobody else gets an Iron Man suit. Nobody else gets to do anything. And I don't really get to do anything either because apparently the simulation hates everybody and me. And also my theoretical old self probably wants to die, it seems like, so. And God is a dickhead, so we're all good there, Like, burst your bubble. The liquid actually has been proven to contain quite a bit of protein, more protein than a 60-gram protein shake. 60 grams. There's more protein in one severe burn bubble sack. Ain't that a thing? Yeah, this is pretty good, pretty decent length. I was gonna go drive with my neighbor and buddy to North Dakota to drop off some shit to this lady or some dude. And I thought, you know what? No, I'd rather record an episode and not get $30 for 8 hours of work. Fuck that, dude. Fuck that. And I would kind of be a bitch for going back to work right now. I'm on strike, dude. So, just like the writers in LA. Oh, Hayden. Oh. When I talk about certain things into the microphone or think about certain things, I get this heat in my chest, which I talked a lot about in my journals last summer and fall. Like, no, you can't talk about that. You need to be like everybody else, just compliant and shut the fuck up. No, nobody's like that anymore. Not in America, pal. It's taken literally back then. So it gets taken literally way faster now. This deep? Yeah. Whatever I want. That's the way it goes, dude. That was the whole point. Which, there was no simulation involved in this coma dream. hypothetical or theoretical because still haven't proven it yet, but I don't need to. Yep, there it is again. That's the thing. You're going to regret it. But I also don't care enough about getting revenge or whatever petty, childish nonsense, dumb word games